Hello YouTube and hello 9th Age community. This is Charles with Overshed Gaming, and I'm bringing another 9th Age battle report. So this game was actually already broadcasted on one of our live streams, but saw a few people saying they would like it shortened, so this is what I'm doing. I took pictures while I was playing the game, and I meant to make this at least a week ago, but it took a little longer to get out. So the list I was playing with is I've got a prelate with the Imperial still, so he's leadership 9. He's got a 1-up armor save. He's got plate armor, and then he's also got the Lockout of Suna because I really just like that item on him. It really, I think it stops a lot of scary combat characters. He's got the Gravity Horn because the channeling is great, and a great weapon. Then I've got a Wizard with the Scepter of Power. He's a Wizard Master with Cosmology, and then I've got a Marshal with Black Steel, Death Warrant. Battle Standard, Shield, Pistol. It's kind of just my normal build with my Prelate. Give or take a pistol. And then I got 5 Electoral Cavalry with Shields and Musician, 20 Heavy Infantry with Spears, full command, 20 Heavy Infantry with Halberds, full command, 10 State Militia with Pistols, and then 20 Light Infantry with a Musician, a Standard Bearer, and the Marksman Pendant. Then I've got 15 Imperial Guard with just a Champion and a Musician. 2 things of 5 Riders with heavy armor braced pistols, 5 Imperial Rangers, and then the real meat of the list, I've got 30 Flagellants with a Champion. That's where my Prelate is going. And then I've also got an Arcane Engine of the distracting one. I just the Arcane Shield. And then I've got a Steam Tank, Mortar, and Imperial Rocketeers. So that is my list. I don't have a copy of my opponent's list, so I'm just going to try to do the best I can to describe it. I think it's on the stream, actually, if you want to find it there. But for spells, the only spells I swapped was Touch of the Heart for Altered Sight. And then our scenario was Dawn Assault, which has those new deployments where it's like a quarter of your board is blocked off. And then our objective is Breakthrough. So we'll start with the Highborn Elf deployment. We traded a few drops. I think we traded about 5 drops, and then he dropped everything else for turn 1. So he's got a rune there on his left, and he's got one of his sloops in there. He's got both his sloops in there. Behind one of the sloops is a bunch of archers, like 13 archers. Then he's got a decent-sized block of spearmen. It's like 22. I believe they have the Rime of Banner. He's also got a Mark of the Krennic Tower boy in there, and I can't remember what spells he has. I just know the big thing, he's got like a 2-up armor save, and he's got that spear that's really good. Then he also has a small unit of Sisters behind that unit there, and he's got a Frost Phoenix next to them as well. Next to the Frost Phoenix are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like 8 knights. One of them is, or it looks like there's 9 models there, but one of them is another prince. He's got the lance that is lasts 2 rounds, goes 2 rounds. You come in with your strength 6. It's got lethal strike. I don't think it has D3 wounds. But then the next round, it's like a lance with a strength potion attached. It's really nice. And then he's got another unit of Sisters. His BSB is one of those units of Sisters. They're very just a BSB with like the Queen's Companion upgrade. And then he's also got an Eagle. And then starting with the EoS deployment, over in that field on the right, I've got 5 Riders. Next to the field, I got my Steam Tank. Behind them is Militia with 10 pistols, or 10 Militia with pistols. And then I've got my 5 Huntsmen right there. And then kind of in the middle of the picture, I've got 20 Crossbowmen. Next to the Crossbowmen are just a small unit of Imperial Guard, just 15 dudes. Yeah. So a small unit, just to kind of bunker my BSB, my Wizard. Next to them, there's just a little circle round base. It's my Mortar. I couldn't find my Mortar. Behind the crossbows are my Imperial Rocketeers, though. I do have that model. I had to find that, but I found it. Got an Arcane Engine next to the Mortar. And then I've got that big unit of Flagellants in there with my Prelate in there. That unit, I think, is very cool. It's a little scary to both my opponent and me because it's just, it's got some seriously strong damage output, but it also, can be really bad at moving around with the new frenzy rules, but I don't know, I kind of like it. And then I've got 5 knights next to them, another unit of 5 riders behind that hill, and then 20 halberdiers. And then we both held a unit reserved. He held one of his his unit of I can't think what they are. They're the guys with the bows, the Gray Watchers. That's what they are. And I held my unit of 20 spearmen back. So they're going to ambush in on turn 2, hopefully. Alright, Highborn's turn 1. He doesn't move up too much. Well, the biggest thing is he reforms his knights and he moves them kind of out of the... He basically just backs away on the right side of the board because those Jalents are there and he doesn't want anything to do with them. He moves his Phoenix behind the building. He moves his Spearmen up. He moves his Sloops up to shoot my Steam Tank. That's about it. He gets Flux Card 2, which gives him 5 dice and 2 Veil tokens. I want to say he just generates 1 Veil token, so he's probably got 6 dice to my 5 dice. He gets the Open Throne off, which is has such a good spell. It's kind of hard to let it go off every time, but it's just if they can cast on 1 die, it's not using it worth it to spell it. He casts Altered Sight on my Mortar, which really stinks to reduce its ballistic skill, so that was annoying. And then I want to say this moving the Shooting Phase. He shoots at my Crossbowman and he kills let's see, probably like 4 or 5. And then both his Sloops shoot at my Steam Tank. They both do 1 wound, and I just can't make a 4 armor save against either of them, so take 2 wounds on the Steam Tank. And then we go into EoS turn 1, baby. So, yeah, I also don't really move too much. I just kind of rearrange my Flagellants. I start kind of trying to move those scoring units up a little bit. I don't have too much to move. I got Flux Card 1. I generate 4 Veil tokens with my army, so I probably had at least 6 dice. I had probably 6 dice, 1 extra token. I cast Altered Sight on my Mortar because I think I'm in short range of his Spearmen and I want to shoot at them, even though he went along with them, but I still want to shoot at them. Still looking at like 12 dudes. And then I get Ice and Fire and his Knights, and I do like 5 wounds. I love the new Ice and Fire. It's so good. It was only bad spell before, now it's really good. I do hit the Spearmen with my Mortar, which was awesome, and they killed probably a good third of them, honestly. It was a good hit. Yeah, nice reduction there on them. And then Highborn's turn 2. He attempts to charge the Steam Tank and he fails, which was great because I didn't really need that turn 1. And then this is actually a later picture, but this also just shows what he does. He really doesn't have much more movement. He's just kind of trying to line up some things. He puts his Phoenix in front of the Knights, though, because he just wants it in the middle. And then he's just kind of, he's holding a lot of his shooting back as much as he can. And he casts Quicksilver Lash in the Steam Tank, and it was such a high roll. Had to let it go. He gets 4 hits, but thankfully he doesn't wound with 1, so he does 3 wounds in the Steam Tank that round. He shoots at the Riders with the Gray Watchers. He doesn't do any wounds, but he does give them the penalty, like the -1 to hit. I'm not really doing anything with them. And I'm not really doing anything with them. And then he shoots at my Crossbowmen some more. He kills a few more models. They hold, though. And then he shoots at my other unit of Riders with this other unit of Queen's Guard. They take 2 wounds. Thankfully, they pass their panic check. I really need them to kind of get over there and kill some of those models with bows. There's so many bows on his board. And he kills some more Crossbowmen. There's not really much I can do to keep those guys alive when there's like 30 bow shots, all hitting on 3s. EoS turn 2. So I didn't really have much to do here, really much to move here either. The only thing I really wanted to do was I just wanted to get rid of the Phoenix this round. I was thinking if I can get rid of the Phoenix, I'll be very happy. So, and I've got a lot of stuff in range and a lot of stuff that can see it. So that's pretty much my plan. I really didn't know what to do with my shooting at this point too. I have all these like pistols on the board, but a lot of them it's like if I move up there, I'm just gonna get annihilated the next turn. So I'm just holding back with all my my Riders and my militia because there's no use just throw them out there and let them get smoked. In the Magic phase, I cast Ice and Fire on the Phoenix. I want to say I get 2 wounds off, but he passes both word saves. And then I also get Perception of Strength off. I think he dispels it, though. I don't remember it staying up. Or maybe it did. I don't know. Actually, I think it stays up, yeah. And then the shooting phase is just a total whiff. Oh, everything missed. So the cannon, the cannon's hitting on a 3-up. That it rolls a misfire, gives itself another wound. And then the rocket battery, I want to say one of them hits, and one of them wounds, and he just passes the 5 ward save. And then the mortar hits and wounds, and thankfully he fails that ward save, but it only does 1 wound. So the thing's only got 1 wound on it, and it's just like, ugh. I even shot it with the Huntsman, and I think they even got a lethal strike because they have lethal strike against the monsters now. But it made a ward save. He made like 8 or 9 ward saves this round. It was so frustrating. And then turn 3. So he charges the Phoenix and Imperial Guard, and he actually wanted to try to charge the Knights in there too, but they just couldn't fit actually with the way the units are lined up, thankfully. So he has to fail charge with his Knights, and then it's just the Phoenix in there, which isn't great, but it's just one monster at least. He blocks up my Flagellants with his Eagle, which is a good move on his part, checking them out. And then he's moving his sleuths up now. Now that his Spearmen also make a charge against my Steam Tank. So with the Spearmen and the Steam Tank, he can really move the sleuths up and get into range of kind of like more of my backfield if he can. But yeah, at this point I was a little bit concerned how I was going to deal with those Spearmen. Because I really needed another mortar shot on him. And then the problem with his magic is he can just keep bringing Knights up if he has the open throne up too. So it's even though I killed a lot of Knights earlier, they can keep popping back up, and it is frustrating. He casts Awaken the Beast on his Knights. I want to say for the strength to negate my perception of strength. And then he also or maybe I think he has to do it for toughness, and he gets one of the Knights back too, which is rough. And then he shoots at my Riders, and they I think there's one left, and they die, and they flee off the board. I want to say previous turn they got in range to shoot, and I think they just rolled really poorly. Shoots at my Huntsman. There's one guy left. He passes his panic test. He's like, whatever, I'm going to keep fighting. And then in the combat with the Steam Tank, I only had 1 wound on it, so it really wasn't much of a trouble for that Prince, that Master of the Crannock Tower at the Spear, to just kind of poke and do 1 more wound to the Steam Tank. He overruns, and now he's really close to the crossbows. Actually, I'm happy he did make contact with the crossbows. But that would have been a really long overrun. That was probably 8 or 9 inches right here. And then a combat with the Phoenix. I want to say the Phoenix only really kills 1 Imperial Guard. He does 2 wounds to my Wizard, which I'm actually really. I think he had 3 hits on him, and he rolled a 1, so that was that was good, because at least I get 1 more magic phase with my Wizard now. And then yeah, I think I did maybe a wound or 2, but it's hard with that reduction of armor piercing, even with the Deathborn and everything getting some fury. It's hard. My Flagellants take 2 wounds from the Eagle. Good going on the Eagle. Good for you, Jeffy. But then he's pulverized, and unfortunately, I couldn't reform with them. I couldn't pass I think I needed a leadership 7 check, and I couldn't pass it. So I had to overrun to the building, which is unfortunate. But it would be nice to turn around that round. So this is the start of EoS turn 3. I really don't have much to do here. I just kind of got those Spearmen and those Halberds, those Knights moving on his right. Hopefully one of those scoring units can either fight the Sisters and stay alive and kind of keep that backfield contested. And then over on this side, I really just got to deal with that Phoenix, those Spearmen, and those Knights if I have any chance of winning. I get flex card 6 for my magic phase, which is great. 6 dice, 5 Veil tokens. So I want to say I probably had 9 dice. And I want to say I tried casting Unity Divergence on something, and he dispelled it. That's probably on the Imperial Guard, and then I ended up casting Perception of Strength twice on that unit. Once from the cart and once from the wizard. So they're now strength 6 with AP 3, but they have their AP reduced by 1 to AP 2. So it's pretty good actually. Hopefully they can do some more. Hopefully they can do some damage to the Phoenix, because I need to kill that Phoenix. And then that's actually a pretty scary unit with like strength 6. I want to say the rocket battery shoots at the knights there and just kills one guy, which is good. And then in the combat phase, he kills my wizard this round. I want to say we roll really poorly, and I don't even think we do that much more damage to the Phoenix. I want to say it's still sitting at 3 wounds. You know, if we get any wounds through it, he just makes his ward saves, and he kills 1, 2, 3, 4 more Imperial Guard. You know, I stick, but it's rough. You know, I just couldn't roll well. You know, couldn't roll even average. It seemed like to just kill this thing. Even with like the strength 6, you know, there's strength 6 AP 2, and I just can't do anything. Because even that would have been kind of scary for those knights to go into at that point too. So, but so yeah, Phoenix is still alive. Highborn turn 4. He charges his knights and his spearmen into the crossbowmen. I want to say I might have been able to stand shoot against the knights. I don't remember if I did or not. But yeah, those crossbowmen are going to be toast soon. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that spearman block's scary too, because I don't really have much of an answer for that guy with the spear. Maybe my prelate, but you know, he's miles away right now. He does move up his sloops again. His sloops are actually now targeting my units on the right, moving into his deployment zone, which is rough. He gets healing waters off in the magic phase on his knights, keeping them alive, because there's only like 4 left right now or something like that. And then in the shooting phase, he shoots at my unit of 5. I think there are 3 knights at this point, and he kills 2 more. This guy does pass his panic test though, which is great. These spearmen get shot at. I don't remember. I want to say he kills 7. They pass a panic test. I was just thinking they were going to die soon, so I wasn't even really removing models. And then in this combat, he kills the crossbowman, no problem. He overruns, and then the knights go into Imperial Guard. I think he challenges my BSB, but he doesn't kill him, which is great. Or I'm trying to think if he challenged, I might use my champion or something. But this is after combat, actually. There's only 5 Imperial Guard left in my BSB, and they're trying to hang around. Yeah, I don't think we did any more wounds to the Phoenix yet. And it's crazy, you know, we're strength 6 AP 2, and we can't do anything. Can't do anything against anything. And then EoS turn 4. I end up charging my arcane engine into the knights. Kind of really hoping for some last ditch effort from that thing. And then it's kind of nice that I'm happy I conserved my pistol units, because now they have something to shoot at. They're going to try and do as much damage as they can to those spearmen. Hopefully they can whittle down the spearmen enough to get them off the table. That'd be great. Turn my flagellants around, still marching those units in there. That one knight died. Yeah, it's just those. It's down to those halberders and those spearmen. See if they can withstand all that shooting for 2 more rounds, basically. Which is gonna be tough because it's a lot of shooting. I get a flex card 4, which doesn't really help me. I actually don't really do much of a magic because all I have is the prelate bound spells and the bound spells from the arcane engine. The mortar hits these Queen's Guard. It killed a bunch of them. Actually, his BSB there's only like there's enough models to could target the BSB. I wounded him, but I didn't kill him, unfortunately. And then we do some wounds to the spearman with the pistols, and then in the combat, now he challenges my BSB, and there's he puts only 1 wound on him, surprisingly, and the Phoenix is actually can't touch the other Imperial Guard, so this unit is still bodyguard, and I stick around for another round, which was actually really helpful. Yeah, it is really helpful. because on his turn, if he kills them, they're kind of stuck there. That's what I actually need to happen. Highborn off turn 5, he charges the Pure Rocketeers, which actually has 4 wounds on it. He didn't shoot it all game, it's just, you know, keeps misfiring, which is okay. I mean, it just takes a wound every time it misfires. Yeah, there's not much I can do against this, but the good thing is the Spearman unit is starting to look, you know, dwindled, and you can start to see, you know, the effect of the pistols on them. And I want to say, yeah, he ends up not going off the board too, because obviously he kills it, no problem. You know, the spear guy could probably do it. He could probably kill a full model single-handedly too, full health model. But he's gonna turn around, which is really good. This is a really blurry spell, blurriest picture of 2018. He just casts the Highborn Alphracia spell, gives him those tokens to ignore wounds. And then the spearmen get shot off the board. Just trying to think what happens. They died. And EoS turn 5. So he actually, yeah, he ends up killing my BSB and the one dude, which was perfect because now they had to reform. I come in with my Flagellants, kill the Phoenix, and I overrun right into the Lancers. So that was awesome, because now, like, it's just a ton of points now that I can hopefully rake up with those guys. And all I need is my Halberdiers to stay on that side too. On his turn, and then in my turn too, in my turn 5, the mortar hits the spearmen, and then I finish everybody else off with the pistols. Between the mortar and the pistols over there, that spearman is dead. His character is alive, and he charges in with the character. And he also charges in with a sloop. So, you know, the Flagellants are going to have a tough fight here, but this is where I want them to be. His Phoenix comes back alive, which was so annoying, because it took so long to kill that thing, and of course it comes back on 1 wound. You know, of course. You know, what can you do? He gets Waken the Beast off in his Knights for toughness. He wants to try and keep him alive as long as possible. Puts another wound on the Phoenix, which also sucks. Now I can't even get half points for that thing. And then he shoots at the different pistol units, and thankfully they pass their panic checks, and they stay on the board. And then this was crazy, actually. He charged. He was worried he wasn't going to do enough damage with his bows. So and I think he was also worried that if I fled, I was going to rally again and still be in his deployment zone. So he actually charged in with a sloop, because he's thinking, man, if I just go into the sloop, do enough damage, these guys are going to flee. He does a lot of damage, but the halberds poke it back and kill it, and now they're just in their deployment zone, which is awesome. And on his turn, he challenges my prelate, because my prelate's got the, Lakasona with his champion. I do kill the champion, thankfully. And this is sort of this combat got a little crazy towards the end there. It was pretty exciting, actually. And I kind of missed some pictures, but this is sort of what it looks like after combat for the first round at the end of his turn 6. All his knights are dead. The Flagellants just smoked the knights. I want to say they did 2 wounds to the sloop behind them, and they didn't do any wounds to the other characters. In my magic phase, I get Flux card 3, which is great. I think I get 2 of the bounce spells off, but the best one I actually get off is Suna's Blessing, only because of the strength 4 hits, the D6 strength 4 hits. It kills the sloop, and I think it does 1 wound to the guy with the spear. He just, I got like 4 or 5 hits, and it did a few wounds, and he didn't pass this, he only had a 3-up armor save against it. Yeah, so that was awesome. Kill the sloop, and then this is the last picture of the game, actually. You get into a challenge with the spear guy. The spear guy actually does another wound to my prelate. I think he has 2 wounds on him right now. And I want to say I did 1 more wound to him, but I just couldn't quite kill him all the way, unfortunately. So we're both sitting on 1 wound in that challenge. And that mortar is alive. I think it just moved out of the way. But yeah, that's the last picture of the game. The Halberdiers are in his deployment zone. He doesn't have anything in my deployment zone, so I end up winning the objective. And yeah, this was a really crazy game. Really fun game too, actually. It was looking a little bleak, I was thinking I was going to lose a lot in that center and have no gain for it, but just the Imperial Guard held just enough for those flagellants to make their way around. I mean, the flagellants really didn't move far; they just kept getting distracted by first an eagle, and then they'd turn around. I mean, that's the problem with frenzy units; it takes forever for them to get anywhere. But the ending score ends up being as 11-9 for the Highborn elf, so it's a loss for Empire Sunstyle, unfortunately. But I'm actually okay with that loss because I won the objective. And something seriously as simple as like the Phoenix not coming back, would have swung the game differently. Or I think I actually didn't really. I could have allocated my attacks better with the flagellants, but I was like, man, I just gotta kill these knights. I was like, I just gotta get them out of the way. I just want to get their points. And I was thinking I wasn't gonna kill the character. I want to say the character had like a 4. I don't think he had. I know he had like a 2-up, 4-up. I can't remember if it was a regen or if it was a. Or if it was. It was probably. I want to say he had the 5-up item, and then there's like he might have just had the 2-up, 5-up. Actually, I probably should have targeted him, see if I could have done some damage. But all in all, I'm actually really happy with the way that game turned out. I do like that list. It's a fun list. That EoS, that flaggy block is just so much fun. It's just a big block of like fury and all these strength 5 attacks and just like oof. And with like a little cosmology, you can also just like get up to strength 6 if you want. And it's a really fun block, honestly. But expensive, and I don't know if easy to kill, but They can take a lot of punishment, but they can deal a lot out. It's a fun block. Yeah. The only thing I wish I did differently, I think I wish I pulled my shooting back further earlier on. But I don't know. It's kind of hard. I don't know. I have a hard time with bows. I feel like with Empire Sunstyle, I don't know what to do, especially elven bows. It's really hard to get close to them, and for them not just to turn around and just obliterate you, especially with sloops, but even with bolt throwers, But I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this battle report. This has been Charles with Highborn Gaming. Have a great time.